Welcome to our brand new channel. We are independent channels as well, and we are going to be cross uploading on our new multimedia channel. It's called Destroy Stick Media. Today we are featuring Moving Mouse and Pariah FX. How you doing, Pariah?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. Like Mouse said, we are starting something new today. A little bit of a collaboration between a few of us. Some on at the moment, some soon to be on, hopefully. Um, Today, I think we're starting our first project. It's a fan favorite and a personal favorite of both his and I, Resident Evil, and I'll let him explain a little bit more.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do here, because the series is so big, I mean, all of these games are gonna take up quite a bit of episodes to complete. And so what we wanted to do was just to make it a little fun and to share the wealth throughout the both of us because we both love the series so much. We're going to do a Resident Evil Roulette. And so basically what we're doing is we're taking all the Resident Evil games that are available on Steam. We've got Resident Evil Revelations 1, 2. We have Resident Evil 0, 1, 2 Remake, 3 Remake, the original 4, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Resident Evil 5, 6, 7, 8, and Operation Raccoon City. So this is the pool of Resident Evils that we're going to be picking from, and basically what we'll do is we'll spin the wheel for the title of the game, and then we'll spin the wheel for who's going to be playing that game, and that'll basically start the series. So whoever it lands on, they will then start a video series on that specific title. All the uploads are going to be different. We're going to be doing different types of episodes, and it's kind of going to be cool because we're going to be able to see the two different players and how we individually play the game. So, just a quick question for you. What do you think is the number one game that you would like to land on? Just for reference, just to see what you'd like to land on, what you'd like to start your video series with.
Just to give you a little bit of history, I've played all of these except for the Revelations titles. So I think as far as something interesting to play, I think I'd like to get into something new, but I have no problem playing any of the other titles simply because they're all classics. So
I know,
um,
and with all the settings on PC, I mean, you might be actually going back to some of these titles that you haven't played since console. Is that right?
yeah, you and I played a little bit of five, or no, we played a little bit of six,
Right.
um,
On PC
and
together.
yeah, so four, five, four, five, and six I played mostly on consoles. Four is always the most interesting one because I think it's my most purchased game of all time. I think of every console it's been released on, I've bought it. All the way back to the original release on what was that, PlayStation 2?
PlayStation 2, and then I think GameCube came out shortly after.
It did, and I think it added a little bit something. I can't remember what it did, but there was something else added to it, and then of course you have the remasters over the years, and then of course the most recent remake, which was a masterpiece. They couldn't have done any better than what they did.
Yeah, and really that's the same for all the remakes. I mean, we're talking about, they're taking the main image of the original, but they are adding new content, and like, they are taking away some content too, but that's kind of the whole fun of a remake is that it's not supposed to just be a mirror image because that's a remaster. So I feel like when they do these remakes, they should be appreciated as a new image of what the game originally was, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I agree. I know a lot of people were upset with three because I believe they cut out the entire clock tower scene, and it's hard for me. I know you've always said that you remember the first time watching me play a Resident Evil title was when we were really young and I was playing 3. That was always interesting to me because the 3 was always the one I hardly ever played. So when it came time to play the remaster or the remake of 3, to hear people so upset that they had cut the entire clock tower scene. And I know they did something close to what they did, but they didn't do the entire scenario. And I can't really remember exactly what that was. I don't know if that's an entire area they cut out or what, but I don't think the edits they make are necessarily bad. I think a lot of times they're cutting out things, and you know, Resident Evil isn't one of those series that isn't immune to outlandish, um, kind of over the top stuff sometimes that kind of goes beyond that threshold of being serious and maybe not taken so seriously. And I think when they can kind of take a step back to reality, I think the player benefits in the sense that this is a horror game again.
Oh, of
The less we
course.
can, the less we can kind of giggle at it, the better. So I'm not saying that the clock tower scenario or scene was anything like that, but there were a few things in four that were definitely on the line of just a little bit kind of, a little goofy, that it wasn't bad that we didn't see it again in the remake.
Yeah, and it's kind of like when you think about films, it's kind of like deleted scenes in films. I mean, they have sometimes, people when, these are people who, especially if they're passionate about their project, when they rewatch something or in the video game sense, if they replay something, they're going to say, well, we didn't really originally want that in there. It was kind of filler time. And it's very similar to deleted scenes, and I feel like even with the Resident, I mean, look at how many years have passed. So we went from there. When was the original four? It was 2005. Wasn't that the original year that the one was released?
Let me see.
I know the version on Steam is 2005, but I don't know if that was the original date.
I think that is 2005.
So we're
Yeah.
and then we jump forward to 2023 when they released the remake. There's going to be a lot of employment changes in especially in Capcom from 2005 to 2023. So things are going to change. This is just the way it is now, and that's why, like, when we're talking, it's nice to have this respect. You have this respect for the remakes because they are going to be a new image of what the game, I mean, is, but it's not a remaster. So remaster, it's like, yeah, you want it to be identical, but you just want to improve the graphics. You want to make, like for the PC version of 4, I mean, look at what they did with the ammo boxes, the gold coins. They actually have like a shimmer on the gold, and then like the ammo boxes actually say the name of the ammo and the caliber and everything. That's what we didn't get in the original back when we were playing on, PlayStation 2 and me GameCube. So to have that in the remaster is excellent, which we do have because we're playing on PC. And then Resident Evil 4 remake, it's a brand new game, but it's just in the image of the original, which everybody loves. Everybody loves Resident Evil 4. That's just one of the classic. But you are right though. They did do some strange kind of outlandish things in the original 4 that it almost kind of, it to me it seemed it was like similar to a movie, like a Hollywood action film where they added scenes that were just kind of different, and 4
Hmm.
definitely took those out. And 4, I mean, we don't need to even say how great the RE engine is nowadays. I mean, the RE engine is so beautiful and realistic that it would be hard to step outside of that and put in something that's kind of like Hollywood effect. I mean, it wouldn't really look right in the video games nowadays. So, I mean, all of these are going to be really exciting to play. These are, we're talking, and then like you said with Revelations, I've only played like, I think it's like 30 minutes of Revelations 1, and that's nothing. So I haven't played either one. I've played Operation Raccoon City one time. I have not finished Village. I finished Resident Evil 7 once. 6, you and I played for what? Maybe, I think I saw 4 hours that we played 6. But 6 has different storylines too. You get to
Hmm.
pick different characters. And also, I wanted to mention this to you too. When it comes to 5 and 6, these are co op games. So when we land on these, what are we going to do for the roulette? What are your thoughts on that? Have you pondered on that idea yet?
We could always set those two aside. Essentially, if we do land on them, possibly just spin again. Set
Oh,
those
treat
aside.
it as a double. So if we land on
Yeah.
5, it's we're going to start a series for 5, but then we also have to have a solo individual series.
Well, I would even say that we would. I think the the dual play would probably suffice as being enough. We could probably then just upload that to the main channel.
Oh, that'd be plenty. Yeah, that'd be and I'm so excited to do some of that co-op too because that's going to be real fun.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the because Resident Evil generally, when you think of it, it is a single player survival horror series, and with 5 and 6, it steps away from that, and you do have a partner there, which they still have the survival aspects to them. How you have to watch your ammo, you have to pay those types of things are still in those games, but you have a partner there, and it's really just for content. When you think about the contact aspect of it, it's going to make those games really fun and exciting to watch and play. So.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to just get right into the spins here and see what we're gonna start playing?
That sounds good.
Let's do it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and spin the wheel for the series. Oh man, how do you feel about that?
I wonder. That's the kind of stuff that makes you feel like everybody's listening. Everything is listening to you, man.
Somebody's
Mentioned.
gonna get lucky. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. What did last time we spun, because we did try this once. I I landed on me first.
Yes, it was you first.
So I have my money on it finally landing on you.
Well, we'll see. This is a big one. This is obviously probably the most, how do I say, wanted or anticipated, but just in today's, if you're a Resident Evil fan, this is the content you're looking for. You're looking for a Resident Evil 4 remake video. So go ahead and
That
move. What's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and not only just simply because it is extremely relevant still, or at the moment, but it's a quick one. Not to say that it's for the lack of quality. It is obviously, like we were just praising it. It's a masterpiece, but it's a quick one.
It's
There are gonna be
definitely not like the original 4. The original 4 is definitely going to take some time in videos.
well, a lot of the old ones are because
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
we
sure.
we haven't played them in so long.
Resident Evil 1 and having to master the maze of the mansion, that's going to take some time. So, if I land on Resident Evil 1, I'm just telling you right now, there's going to be learning curves to that one cuz you're right. And I don't even know if I've ever played it on PC. The last time I played 1 was on GameCube. So we're talking some many years that I haven't even seen the gameplay in that, and especially not on PC. I know it's going to be gorgeous, so that's one thing that I am looking forward to with some of the older titles is how good they're going to look on the custom rigs.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and see who's going to be playing Resident Evil 4 remake. This is big. This is a big one. I'm glad we got this. This is cool. Dang, you've got it. You've got Resident Evil 4 remake.
All right, that'll. I'm not gonna say that'll be easy, but I'll knock that one out.
Yeah, no, I mean it's exciting because, like I said, that is it's the most recent release, and it is just amazing. I mean that game is incredible. So, and I know we talked about so we don't want to do a repeat. We don't want both of us to do Resident Evil 4. So just for the sake of the roulette, if we land on Resident Evil 4 again, we'll just respin. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So we want to
Alrighty.
keep.
What's that?
I was just gonna say we want to keep it interesting,
Yeah, and after the whole roulette is done, we have free reign to just go and do whatever series we want. So I'm sure I personally want to do the entire Resident Evil series, no matter what we land on in time. So I feel like that's something that I want to. It's like a milestone, like have the entire Resident Evil, or at least the Steam Resident Evil series, and just complete everything. Have all the videos uploaded.
Yeah, well, I figured maybe this was sort of the way to knock that out. Just keep spinning it until we've got them all knocked off our little sort of wish list.
Yeah, and we can go in and we can actually we could actually do it right now if you wanted to. Do you want to just take Resident Evil 4 remake out of here?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So we've just
We could
removed Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm sorry, what were
we
you gonna
could
say?
we could probably also drop 5 and 6 because we're gonna do those together anyway.
True, true. And we don't. So for the sake of, or we could do this. What are your thoughts on this? What if what if we do? Let's just say because it's it's obviously a percentage chance. What if we do land on 5 or 6, and then that's like a secondary series that we could do alongside our individual series. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that something you'd be interested in, or do you just want to get those co-ops out of here?
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it would be cool to have two series up. I just don't know if we could manage doing that as well as knocking out some of the, like, having your own solo series. And you might just want to put more effort and time into your own individual. I'm open to doing a co-op and a single series, but it's got to be mutual. And if you want to have more focus on your Resident Evil 4 remake series, then we should just do solos.
Yeah, let's just go do that. Let's do that first. So there's not it's not too complicated, and we can
Okay.
kind of focus on each one.
Alrighty, we'll take 5 and 6 out of the roulette. So now we're just down to the two revelations: Operation Raccoon City, 0, 1, 2 remake, 3 remake, 4, 7, and Village. So that definitely is going to change the percentage chance. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
And this one we don't even have to spin for you.
Wow,
That's nice.
Revelations 1. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we know who's going to be playing this, so this is pretty cool. This is interesting. I mean, obviously we're so the Revelation series is interesting to me because when did this come out? Is this like late 2000s? Would you say?
Yeah, 2012 for Revelations 1.
Wow. So that's still, I mean, to me, that's a newer game. We're talking about some Resident Evils that are from the 90s. So that's like midway through the series in reality. I mean, this is a big one. And I have, like I said, I have just barely touched it, but it was about 30 minutes. So this is a brand new game for me in reality. I mean, I don't even remember. I remember just this one is a ship. I think it's played on a boat or something like that.
It does, but I think there are a couple other places it goes to as well. I think it skips around.
I mean, either way, it's exciting because, like I said, for me, it's a brand new game, and this is a series where once you get into it, you're just gonna start chipping away at the series. I mean, you wanna learn these games also, but you're gonna be learning along the way in a video is really fun because you get to see new. Everybody knows that this for you, this is the first time playing it, and that's rare for you and me in this series. I think it's just what. Have you played Operation Raccoon City?
Yeah, I did. I played that on the PlayStation 3
So it's
when
just
that first
Revelations
came
then.
out. Yeah, just those two. Not
And
played
in the
those two.
next roulette, it's really just going to be Revelations 2 that one of us can land on. Now,
Right.
there's a couple of these games that I haven't beat. Oh, well, no, Zero. Actually, I haven't played Zero at all. So that's a brand new game for me, too. Village, I haven't beat it. And then 1, I haven't beat it. And then I've pretty much played through everything else. So Revelations 2, Zero, and Village are the ones, and then obviously Revelations 1. This is going to be cool. So how do you feel about this? I mean, you landed on gold. So how do you feel about this?
Not bad. I'm hoping I don't kill it too fast, but I have been playing that one recently. And yeah, I think this would be my fifth or sixth. I think sixth or seventh actually playthrough just recently. So
I think when it comes to the especially these series types games, I would give a little bit of the beauty. Show the beauty of the game off. I mean, that's how I want to do it for sure. I'm gonna be learning a lot in Revelations, but for you have already gone through and played a bunch. I mean, a lot of the extras. I know there's a lot of extras in that, and the beauty of the game. Because I know speed runs are one thing, but playing it like it's still has that horror feel to it is also really enjoyable for the viewers too, because you get to show parts that are pretty intense and that you kind of hesitate to do something, you know. And that's what's going to be nice about Revelations is that I don't know what to expect. I really don't. I've never seen gameplay on it, and I've only played I think Revelations 1 for about 30 minutes. So I have to check my Steam account on that, but I'm pretty sure it's just about 30 minutes.
Right on. Yeah, and what you were saying about 4 is that one thing that I've always really enjoyed about it is that it was the first time in the series where we went from survival horror to also somewhat of a treasure hunter. I mean, you were all over the map and finding little nooks and crannies that you could sort of dip in and out of to either um, do little shortcuts or find something to sell. I mean, this was the first time we've got to find items and sell them. So it's just one of those interesting things that I think ended up sticking around, which goes to show you just how great that game is and how influential it was to the entire series pretty much going forward from that point. So I'm excited to go play through it again one more time.
Yeah, I think a
Probably
big
not the
what's up?
probably not the last time either. So
For sure. But I think a big reason for that is because everybody's playthrough is different, and the reason for that is because your your method of customizing what weapons you choose to have, what weapons you choose to sell, and I'm pretty sure there's the deluxe edition already on it. So everybody's playthrough is going to be different, and that's what's cool about any Resident Evil that has a trader and the ability to upgrade, even with 5. I mean, you have like, you know, there's a different handgun, there's this SMG. You get to choose to keep these or sell these. And like in 5, they have ones that like I remember like the Beretta pistol that you start with has like a bonus ability in headshots. And if you get rid of that gun early on, I think you regret it in the long run because the ability for those bonus headshots is incredible when the gun is fully upgraded.
I believe that Beretta, that's the Samurai Edge. They're and I don't know if they're an actual pistol, but I do know that the Japanese they do a lot of reverse engineering. Not quite as bad as other countries, but they do a little bit of that sometimes where you'll see like designers make models of it might be a guitar or in this case a firearm in the sense of a pistol that looks exactly like a Beretta. And I think they're open slide. They're just pretty much open slide semi-automatic pistols, and you know what I mean by open slide. Essentially, the barrel is sort of exposed, and you really only see that with, I think, Italian pistols. Beretta being the most famous of that brand. But yeah, the Samurai Edge. That's actually, I think, one of the most iconic firearms in the entire series because I think that is essentially supposed to be the what do you consider that? General issued or
Yeah, yeah, I know
just
what you mean. Like the standard issue for
yeah,
like I don't want to
ex-
call them soldiers, but
the stars unit.
right.
That's
Well,
actually should be standard issue sidearm for the stars.
and I noticed too because Taurus actually came out with a very similar version of the 92 FS, and it's a very, I mean, it looks just like it. It's just their version, so it definitely
Yeah,
has that value of being like that classic standard handgun. And I mean, they're big and bulky guns, but when it comes to, and I think there was like for probably like a 20-year reign of them actually used in different police forces around the world. So they definitely were a big popular handgun at the time too. So, and probably right around the time that the Resident Evil series started. You know, I mean,
exactly.
like 90s, and then I think it switched over later to like the Glocks and all that. But
Right, and this actually would have been around the same time. I think the 92 was adopted by the U.S. military, right?
yeah, yeah, it's got to be
More than
right around
likely.
that time. I mean, you know, we're talking what late 90s, I think, for the original Resident Evil release.
Right.
Was one the very first game in the series, or was there like some sort of offshoot or something like that?
The series itself, I believe, was sort of like an inspirational successor to a game called. Is it? I don't know if it's
Oh, are you talking
Sweet.
about Daymare or Daymare?
Mm, no, it was an old Japanese computer game that I think it was called Sweet Home or something like that, or
Oh, interesting.
it it sort of had nothing to do with Resident Evil, but once you saw the game, it was, a couple characters running away from a storm into a mansion, and all of a sudden, you start to see things that sort of line up as far as we this makes a little bit too much sense.
Wow,
And
and just thinking of that though, Resident Evil 1 is going to be so cool to see in like uploaded PC footage. Like that's going to be awesome. I haven't even that reality hasn't hit me because we haven't dove into those very old classic games that were originally released. I mean, what almost little probably around 20 years ago. I mean, that's going to be the whole ordeal on its own. Those
right,
games are going to be gorgeous when we upload those. Zero. I think Zero is a little bit more modern than the original one, but still, Operation Raccoon City even is going to take a big boost in graphics quality and frames from what I remember. I played it on Xbox 360.
right. So just to verify what I was saying, it was Sweet Home apparently. Japanese computer game. I don't know what the console it would have been played on was, but 1989. So this game would later on pretty
Wow.
much inspire the Resident Evil series.
But Resident Evil 1 is the first and it was 1996, is that right?
98.
98, and that's the first year that it was released. And what console was that released on?
And PlayStation 1? Yeah.
PlayStation 1. Wow. So I mean, that's a big jump. I mean, you're
No,
talking.
excuse me, you were absolutely right. Resident Evil 2 was 98, so Resident Evil 1 was 96. I
But
just wanted to.
still though, I mean, that's big. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking generations. And so having these games on PC where we can, and I know they are still what they haven't been remastered. We're still wondering if Resident Evil 1 is going to be remade, if they're going to remake 0, if they're going to remake 5. I think they hinted at remake of 5 a little bit in 4. But I mean, even looking at Resident Evil 1 from from this era to when it was originally released, and those videos are going to have a special quality to them because we're playing on mouse and keyboard, which is just much more efficient. I mean, it's just going to be a whole thing. It's just going to, that's going to just hit home. So whoever gets Resident Evil 1 is also landing is definitely landing on gold as well. I mean, that game is going to be really really cool to watch in video format.
Absolutely. And I was kind of hoping we'd get one of those. I'm glad you got one of the Revelations titles, but I was almost hoping we would maybe get one of the either 0 or 1 of the Revelations titles were the 4 I was kind of looking forward to.
True that, but I mean, we're jumping right into Revelations, so at least some content is going to be flying up where it's a game that neither one of us has played, so that is cool too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely want to see those old games, and like I said, even ORC brought up on PC. I haven't, I bought it, but I had never even played it on PC, and that's why this roulette is really cool because we're going to experience it on our own. I'm sure you're gonna watch my videos. I'm gonna watch yours, so you'll actually be able to see the game. And even if you don't, maybe might not want to see the ending, then you have the choice to do the game, the say like ORC. You can do that series on your own, and then have your own uploads for it. And I just wanted to ask you as well, because what do you want to do when it comes to uploading for the multimedia channel and our own individuals? I personally want to have my Resident Evil Revelations on both of them. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I would even say, I don't know, throw in something like a little extra on one or the other. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe either have a little bit of a longer episode on one, and or maybe like with 4, I have that option of, let's say I could do the regular story on my channel and then go ahead and do the story, the same episode essentially, but take another 30 minutes to an hour and throw in a couple of mercenaries matches as well,
Oh, yeah,
sort of
yeah,
some sort of something where it's a little bit different on each. So
for sure. Well, I mean, we've got our choices. We are set. We've got Pariah FX playing Resident Evil 4 Remake and Moving Mouse playing Resident Evil Revelations 1. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed this video. The Resident Evil Roulette is just one of these fun, exciting uh, titles for us to play because we love the series so much. And stay tuned. The videos will be coming up. And enjoy.
yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you did, we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Have a nice day.